Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The cumulative review section for the Chapter 3 test. Here we go. Number 22, solve the unknown angle measure in the diagram below. All right, there's the unknown angle. Now, the easiest way to do this is if you remember a theorem. It's called the triangle exterior angle theorem. And what that theorem says is we can take the two angles that are inside the triangle, these two angles, and simply add them together. 21 plus 24, and we get 45. So that exterior angle is 45 degrees. That's it. All right, number 23. Solve for the unknown angle measure in the diagram below. Well, if you recall, this has two equal sides. That is an isosceles triangle. Now, we need to remember the isosceles triangle theorem. Okay, so that means this angle and this angle are the same length, because these two sides, or these two angles are the same measure, because these two sides are the same length. All right, well, I'm going to label, so this can also be labeled as y. So I'm going to set up an equation, 2y plus the third angle. Now, if you remember, the angles in a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. All right, now you're simply going to solve it. Subtract 37. So 2y equals 143, divide by 2. And so we find that the missing angle is 71.5 degrees. All right, number 24. The unknown angle in number 22 is a blank angle. Okay, we already said that. That is an exterior angle. The triangle in item number 23 is an, okay, we already said that. That's an isosceles triangle. Number 26. Determine the equation of the line. All right, well, first we have to find our slope. So remember, that's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. All right, so we got a sign change here. So this angle is negative, or this slope is -3 over -3, which is 1. Now we have to use the point slope formula. All right, here we go. So y minus, okay, now I'm going to use this point in my point slope formula. So y minus 3 equals 1 times x minus -5. So again, we have a sign change right here. All right, so now we have y minus 3 equals x plus 5. We're going to add 3 to both sides. And so y equals x plus 8. All right, number 27, the angle's already given to you. So we have, so this is the point. So we've got y minus -2 equals 2/3 times x minus 3. All right, we do have a sign change right here. And so y plus 2 equals distributive property. We've got 2/3 x. 2/3 times the -3 is -2. All right, one step left, subtract the 2. And so y equals 2/3 x minus 4. All right, couple left. 4 more. Factor out the greatest common factor. Okay, remember the greatest common factor is what they have in common. So let's start with the -2 and the -50. So the GCF for -2 and -50 is -2. So we're going to pull out a -2. And the GCF for the x, we've got x cubed and we've got x. Well, they only share 1. Okay, so we're going to pull out an x. Now, what's left? Okay, so remember, we're doing the distributive property backwards here. Instead of distributing through, we're pulling it out. So we're pulling out a -2x. So what's left here is x squared, because we pulled out the -2 and we pulled out one of the x's. So x squared is left. Now, since we pulled out a negative, this is going to become a plus. And then if you pull a 2 out from the 50, 2 times what is 50? That would be 25. And you pulled out the x, so there's no x left. That's it. So we pulled out a -2x, and x squared plus 25 is left on the inside. Okay, same thing with the next one. What does the 6 and the 2 have in common? Well, the GCF for that would be 2. We've got an x squared and an x, so the only thing we can pull out is an x. Now, what's left? So when we pull a 2 away from the 6, we're left with a 3. We took an x away from x squared, that's an x, and we took 2x away from 2x, so that's got to be a 1. Because remember, if you distribute, if you go backwards, you can't have a 0 there, because then 2x times 0 would be 0, and it's got to stay 2x. So that has to be a 1. All right, the last two. A solution to a linear inequality in 2 variables is known as, well, we just did that. So think about this. So we graphed an inequality in 2 variables, and then we shaded one of the sides depending upon the inequality. All right, so that has to be a half plane. And last one, a solution to a linear inequality in 1 variable. Okay, 1 variable is a, okay, so 1 variable is where we would graph on a number line. Okay, and then we'd either have a solid dot or an open dot, and then we would draw a line depending upon the inequality. Okay, so that's definitely not a half plane. So all points on the line? No. A segment? No. It's got to be a ray. All right, that's it. Good luck on the test, ladies and gentlemen.